Liberia, responding to the same question. What are the opportunities? What are the challenges in Liberia? And what are the lessons for Africa?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Colleagues and colleagues participants, I want to start by saying a special thanks to Cities Alliance for the organization of this very important meeting. And also to say that if we look at why we are here, an African strategy, what came to my mind is like the people who derive the objective of the African strategy were all Liberians. Because when you look at the three essential things, when you look at getting away from the inertia, the inactivity, we are right there. When you look at policy issues, lack of policies to deal with the emerging trend, we are right there. Then we come to inclusiveness, communities for economic benefits, we are also there. So this African Strategy Workshop, major challenge is African government in activity or the inertia to do something about new trend in the world, which is growing population in urban centers. That growing population, if we look at China example, in India, for instance, because of that number, that huge population, they are considered economic power. In the past, on the continent of Africa, we got intimidated by people coming to the cities. Why are you coming to the cities? Let's move activities to where you're coming from. Little did we know that the world woke up and said that this population is a power for you. You can use this population for your economic empowerment. So what we need to do now is to train this economic opportunity, to train these people so that they will participate in the economy, so that economy of skill can give us the ground for where we need to take Africa. So in Liberia, what are we doing? The National Urban Conference of 2010 in Liberia gave rise to the beginning of really understanding and looking at the opportunities of urbanization. So that conference gave rise to an opportunity for us to say, look, every 2 years, let us have a national forum where we create a platform to discuss what is happening in our country. Because of other issues, that did not happen. But in 2015, the first National Urban Forum was held and gave us the need as an outcome to look at the policies, urban policies, and the president of our country, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, at that conference, that urban forum, did appeal to Cities Alliance to join us in our urban development program. And today, I'm proud to say Cities Alliance in Liberia and helping us to respond to those critical questions. So the next thing is, how do we tackle our policies? We are behind in terms of decentralization. So the government has put in place a new bill, which is now before the National Legislature for review and approval, that deal with decentralization, giving local authorities the authority they need to respond to their development needs in the various political subdivisions. That is on the way. And the introduction of a national urban policy, feasibility, was the first step of this intervention from Cities Alliance and its implementing partners. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Moderator, I'm just happy to say that given when Liberia started to participate, given what has happened to our country, and given the strides we're making Our presence here at this workshop indicates our aspiration not to be left behind in the world trend in addressing the urban growth and its management issue. May I use then this opportunity to, on behalf of the government of Liberia, to once again thank Cities Alliance and the great people of Ghana for the level of hospitality accorded us since our arrival in this beautiful city. The UN Habitat and the Humanity for International as implementing partners. Cities Alliance, local government associates, etc., for the remarkable support to the government of Liberia with the rationalization and streamlining of the urbanization process of the country based on the key principles of inclusion, participation, accountability, transparency, and cultural requirements of the African strategy. I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Your country was one of the most hit by the Ebola disease. And we know what it takes, and we have the knowledge of the African Development Bank saying that it costs you more than 3% of your GDP. How do you recover from that, and what is the role of cities in this recovery? Can you say it in, say 3 or 4 sentences?
Yeah. The major strategy that helped us in our recovery program, and we cannot identify it later on, was what we call community involvement and participation. We started looking at what works in other places, and Ebola and other things continue to grow. But once we enter the communities, through the cities where we have the agglomeration of people, it started sensitizing the people, and the people themselves started taking part in fighting the EVD. EVD became history. So the use of people is key. Making use of the population is key. That's the strategy we use.
Thank you very much, Minister.